It's time for another haul video, so let's have a look at some great new everyday carry and travel gear that has found its way to the channel. This is the Wuben X3 or Owl flashlight, and there are no prizes for guessing where it got that name. Now, Wuben have been really innovating lately in the flashlight space, and the X3 is no exception. Compact and lightweight, and a really nice size for everyday carry. We have here a practical clip on the back for pocket carry or to attach to a backpack strap, and we also have a strong magnetic base so you can attach it to ferrous objects. And there are 4 translucent colours to choose from. Now we have here 2 light sources, red and white. The white light has 4 light levels from 1 lumen moonlight to 700 lumen turbo, and a battery life of up to 50 hours on a single charge. There's also a strobe and an SOS function, and here is the power and runtime chart if you want to pause this and digest the fine detail. The red light, which can be used to preserve night vision or as an improvised bike light or warning light, has 2 light levels. 1 lumen, which is good for 30 hours, and then a very bright 80 lumens, which soon drops down to 30 lumens and runs for 2 hours. We have here a single clicky switch on the top, and operation is straightforward and easy to remember, and includes direct access to turbo and then back again to the previous used light level, which is always what I look for in a flashlight. Very usefully, you have a tiny OLED screen here on the top which stays on with the light, so you can always see the light power level and also the battery level. Less usefully, you have in-body blue lights, which you can, and in my view perhaps should, switch off to save power because they do use quite a lot. And you also have a lockout feature to avoid accidental activation, which is essential here when you can switch the light on with a single click. Then it has a surprise feature which is genuinely useful, and that is a rotating head. And this means you can use it handheld like you would with most flashlights, but then you can also rotate it, and that means you can use it on a tabletop or perhaps clip to a backpack strap, or you could use it with a baseball cap, so you can either light the way ahead or rotate it and then shine the light down as a reading or map light. And this combination of rotating head, pocket clip and magnetic base gives this light a unique level of flexibility. And when it comes to charging, there's a few surprises here too. There's no USB socket on the light. Instead, it can be charged inductively using an existing charging pad, or it can be charged via a simple USB charging base, or there is also an aluminium charging box option too. Now this utilizes the connection terminals on the base of the light, and then this light is held in place with the flashlight's magnets, and this can charge the light in 2 hours. The charging box has a 3000 mAh battery built in and is recharged via USB-C. The X3 itself has a 1000 mAh battery, so that means this can be charged around 2 to 2.5 times from the charging box. And usefully, the light can be charged and used at the same time, and has a diffuser at the front for room lighting and an opening on the top when used in handheld mode. And the X3 has an IP rating of 65, making it water resistant but not waterproof. Now, some might be put off by the lack of direct USB charging, as you always need an inductive pad or the charging base or the charging box with you if you want to charge this on the go. But apart from that niggle, this is a well-made, compact and lightweight light with a host of practical features. As for the price, well, it starts at around $80 or £70 for the basic light, or $110 for the version with the charging box. Next up, we have a new, rather special backpack from a company called Fendent, who are the sponsor of this week's video, so a huge thank you to them for supporting the channel. Now, the Fendent backpack here has just launched on Kickstarter at the time of recording, and I'll link to that campaign in the description down below. The one I have here is actually a prototype, and the production version will utilize a darker fabric with a blue cord, and that one is actually shown in the campaign video. Now this backpack is for those who are looking for unparalleled protection against potential threats to keep your belongings safe and secure, and the material used here is the key to that particular feature. It's developed by Fendent using a super strong high molecular weight fabric which undergoes a multi-layer composite process, and the result of that is an ultra high tensile strength material that's abrasion, cut and puncture resistant, and it also happens to be water resistant. And that means your Fendent backpack is not only super durable in everyday use, but it also protects the contents against theft from attacks such as cut and run. And that's because this thing is almost impossible to cut through, even with a utility knife. With a capacity of around 22 litres and a weight around 3 pounds, this is ideal for daily commutes or weekend adventures. If we have a quick look around the bag, we've got 2 stretchy bottle pockets here, a cord retaining system for bulky items, 2 zip pockets on the front, and a main compartment with a double zip opening, and that can give you access to just the top of the backpack, or it can open clamshell style to give you full access to the contents. The zips are also water resistant. Internally we have a large padded laptop pocket that can take a 15-inch laptop. The one I have here is 14-inch, and then we've got 2 smaller pockets attached to that, and we also have this zipped mesh pocket. On the back we've got a grab handle and a padded back panel with a concealed security pocket at the base of the bag. The shoulder straps are also well padded with lashing points on the front and also a chest strap, and there's also a zip pocket on each side which is big enough for a credit card or a travel card or perhaps some cash. Prices start at 149 Singapore dollars, companies based in Singapore, and that's around 110 US dollars or around 90 UK pounds. So for a super tough anti-theft functional backpack, check out the Fendent backpack on Kickstarter or follow the link down below. And thanks again to Fendent for supporting the channel. This is the Hoverpen 3. Now, we featured the original Hoverpen in a previous video, and having been a fan, we were excited when this one made an appearance. The maker Novium have managed to increase the hover angle here with this pen, which makes it look even more impressive, and we have a new gravity defying raised design in keeping with the futuristic theme of earlier models. Precision engineering and the exact positioning of high density magnets make it all possible. What really sets this one apart though from previous models is that this is a fountain pen, and it's worth noting that the nib is made by the German company Schmidt, who also supply fountain pen tips for Mont Blanc, so the writing quality is pretty much assured. The pen has a removable cap, and at the opposite end this stainless steel tip to reduce friction and prolong the spinning fidget factor of the Hoverpen. The supplied ink cartridge is refillable from an ink bottle, making it more environmentally sustainable and more affordable in use, although it will take a standard ink cartridge too. This is a real talking point, and it's really well made, but it's not what you would call cheap, so expect to pay around $160 or pounds. This might look like a miniature battle-scarred robot, but it is in fact a USB GaN or gallium nitride travel charger, and I've included it here because it looks so good. The distressed finish is really well executed with an insane level of detail, and it feels really well made. The fins on top, for example, are the only things here that you need to fit yourself, and they're attached magnetically onto this movable ball joint, and the legs click into place to raise the charger off the desk when not charging, just in case you thought it looked a bit hunched up. You even get a set of water transfers if you wanted to customize your robot. From a practical point of view, this works like many travel chargers, catering for 110 to 240 volts with an inbuilt US 2-pin plug that springs into position, and then you get separate UK and European plugs which slide onto the US pins when needed. And when plugged in, the eyes light up a kind of washed out blue-white colour, which is very in keeping with the aged robot vibe. Then we have 3 USB outlets on the top here, 2 USB-C and 1 USB-A, which is an ideal mix right now. And it's no slouch either, with a maximum 65 watt output on one of the USB-C ports, 20 watts on the other, and 18 watts on the USB-A. And if you're charging more than one device at once, it shares out the power to a maximum total of 65 watts, which is what we see with most travel chargers. As for the price, you're looking at around £60 or $60, which I don't think is bad at all. And this has got to be the perfect gift for anyone into science fiction. And Jamie, who works with me at the channel, wrestled this one out of my fingers before I'd even got it out of the box, which I should mention is also really nice too. If, like me, you use notebooks and like to organise what you carry and appreciate great quality, then you're really going to like this next range. What I have here is a selection of organisers and journals from a company called Lochby. Now, the founder, Chris Elfrin, is ex-US military and developed the first journal and tool roll we see here based on his own field experience, and then went on to evolve the range further. The main material used throughout here is waxed canvas, tough and weather resistant, with quality aluminium components and premium YKK zippers, and the quality is clear to see. Now, I have a few examples of the range here, and I'm going to start with the field journal. So this is the field journal. We have a buckle enclosure, we've got a carry strap, we've got a large Velcro secured pocket on the rear, and we've also got an elasticated pen loop. Then inside we've got this really nice honeycomb lining, and then we've got some pockets and a deeper pocket and a Velcro secured mesh pocket. And also in here we've got space for some loose notes or a spare pad. You get elasticated straps here to hold the notebook in place, and even a couple of bookmarks. Now, Lochby produced their own 72-page notebooks with quality fountain pen friendly paper and a stitched binding, and this one is included, and it's A5 or 5.8 by 8.3 inches, and it has the stock grid. Also available are lined, plain and a planner option. There's also a pocket journal in the range, zip fastening this time, and that gives us 3 pockets on the back, one of which is Velcro secured, and then inside we've got various pockets on this side and the notepad on this side. Now, the notepad here is 3.5 by 5.5 inches, and again we've got 72 pages with the dot grid notepad included, although there are lined and plain versions available too. Then we have this tool roll, which I really like, and it has this buckle fastening system here for a little bit of expansion flexibility. Then inside we have 9 elasticated loops of various different sizes, as well as these 3 flat pockets here at the back, and also a zipped mesh pocket on the end. Now, I really like a tool roll because it has the benefit that you can quickly access the tool you want, and you can also easily spot if you've left something behind when packing up. And this is one I really like, and I can see me putting this to good use. Then we have this rather interesting venture pouch. We've got a couple of D-rings here so you can clip it onto something, and also a really nice grab handle. Then we've got 2 zips, one at the top and one at the bottom. The top one reveals a couple of pockets with a central divider, and then we've got a couple of mesh pockets in here secured with Velcro. And if we have a look at the one on the bottom, notice we've got a double zip at this point. And if I unzip that, we've got here these 5 elasticated loops. And this takes up space in what is the middle divider when accessing the pouch from the top. And this system actually works really well. It's something I've not seen before, but this is a pouch that I also plan to use. This one here is called the Quattro, and it's designed for pen carry. Again, we have a zip fastening on the back. We've got a couple of pockets, one Velcro secured. Quite niche, but again, very nice if you are into your pens. And finally, I have a watch wallet. So again, a little bit niche. And this opens up to reveal 3 quite tight pockets on one side, which could be for straps or tools. And then we have 3 watch pockets on this side. So obviously a little bit more space, covered with a protective flap, and then everything here is covered with a soft lining. And there are a few more items on the website which I'll link to in the description down below. Everything is also available in blue and in black. And to give you an idea of price, everything just shown is under £50 or $50 at the time of recording, which seems like really good value to me. I have here two wallets from a company called Reform, and their mission is to reinvent the wallet by rethinking the design, size and materials used, taking the emphasis away from cash with a focus on functional minimalism. The wallets are lightweight and slim and employ welded seams and also bar tack stitching at the high stress points. The branding is very subtle, which I like, and is actually only visible when the wallet is opened up. And we have a magnetic closure which works really well and is actually satisfying in use. The material used here is derived from military boats and is 10 times more durable than leather, as well as being waterproof. The surface feels a little bit rubbery with a bit of texture, so more friction than you might find with a leather wallet. And it may also attract dirt, but I imagine it will be quite easy to clean. This one is the Re01 and weighs 35 grams or 1.2 ounces and is designed to hold 2 to 5 cards. And we have two pockets, one external and one internal. Now this is easily doable, but in use I would prefer a maximum of 2 cards per slot for easier access. Then we have this space here, and this is for folded notes and coins, or for something like a key or an Apple AirTag. And the mechanism has been around for years, but I haven't actually come across it recently. Just open the wallet up and then squeeze the ends here with, it has to be said, quite a bit of force, and then it opens up and then it snaps shut when you let go. Then we have the Re02. Now this one is very light, it's just 22 grams or 8 ounces, although I should mention my current wallet, the Bellroy card sleeve, weighs just 18 grams. This is designed to hold 3 to 8 cards, which it does quite easily, although again 6 works best as a maximum for me. This is a very simple design and is thinner than the one we've just looked at, and this has 3 card pockets, 2 on the inside and 1 on the outside for quick access. And this is my personal preference, as I avoid carrying coins and ensure everything in my wallet is flat. So I'm going to move my contents from my slim sleeve to this wallet to see how it fits. So I've moved everything across from the Bellroy, and on the inside here I've got some cash, a couple of less used cards and my driving license. And then on this side I've got my Air card, which is a tracker that works with Find My, and also a bit of paper for emergency note taking, and also a bit of paper with some emergency contacts on. And then on the outside I have a single credit card for quick access. As mentioned, the fabric is a bit more grippy than the smooth leather on my Bellroy, so you could say less likely to fall out of my pocket, and the cards are held in place a little tighter too, and this material doesn't stretch like leather, so it's unlikely these will get loose over time. As for the price, this one here, the Re02, is £62 on Reform's website, and I've seen it in the US for $80, and the Re01 is more, so overall quite expensive considering the Bellroy is £50 or $50 as a comparison. I do though like the quality and simplicity on offer here, and I am going to carry this for a while and see how I get on with it. This is the Ruike M42, and as regular viewers will know, I'm always on the lookout for a multifunction pocket knife that will give Victorinox a run for its money, and the Ruike knife I have here is probably as near as I've got so far. Now Ruike are a Canadian company with manufacturing in China, but very much at the quality end. The M42 compares really nicely when it comes to the tool set with one of the best-selling Victorinox knives, the Huntsman. So let's compare them side by side. The M42 is slightly longer and thicker than the Huntsman, but there's not a lot in it. They are both 4-layer tools, but the M42 weighs 142 grams or 5 ounces versus the Huntsman, which weighs much less at 97 grams or 3.5 ounces. And this will be due to the fact that the tools on the M42 are slightly thicker than the Victorinox, and the liners used are steel and not aluminium like we see on the Victorinox. The M42 has G10 scales versus the Huntsman smooth solid or ABS scales, and that's pretty much down to personal choice. We do though have accessible torque screws here on the M42, which is great for maintenance, and also a removable deep carry pocket clip, which is very welcome. The Huntsman has the traditional tweezers and toothpick scale tools, but the M42 trumps it with a huge pair of tweezers that are in reality much more effective. Both knife blades are slip joint, non-locking and under 3 inches, so legal in most countries, but the M42 is thicker and much more substantial, as you can see. The steel used on the M42 is Sandvik 12C27, which is comparable to the Victorinox steel, if not slightly better. The scissors are similar on both, and both work really well. The M42 has a better return spring and the Victorinox opens wider. Both though easily pass the paracord snip test. The screwdriver, pry tool, bottle opener and wire stripper tool are almost identical, except the M42 is thicker and therefore stronger. The saw blade is again almost identical, but again the M42's is very slightly thicker at 1.5mm compared with 1.2mm on the Victorinox. The corkscrews look the same but have a slightly different profile, and I only know that because the Victorinox eyeglass screwdriver doesn't quite fit in the M42. The Victorinox has the usual screwdriver can opener, whereas the M42 makes a change and introduces a short, sharp serrated blade with a screwdriver end. Not a bad option and capable of seatbelt cutting, we are told. Both knives have an almost identical awl with bladed edge and sewing eye. The M42 has a stowable keyring loop and the Victorinox has a fixed one. As for clear differences, the M42 has a substantial glass breaker tip and the Victorinox has a small blade and a parcel hook, which has its uses but is mostly unloved. In a nutshell, the M42 is more capable and the Victorinox is lighter. If the M42 had embraced the urban appeal just a little bit more to complement the glass breaker and the belt cutter and swapped that corkscrew for a Phillips screwdriver, then I think they would have created a really compelling offer. Even though without that, unless weight is your key factor or a can opener is a definite requirement, then the M42 actually wins here on capability. And that is a surprise. As for the price, in the US both come in at around $50, but in the UK it's not quite that easy, as the Victorinox is £40 and the Rake is $60. And if you want to see some more gear hauls, then just click on this right here. But that's it for this one. Thank you as always for watching, and I hope you can join me in the next one.